So if you want to become a better recruiter, we need to shift our intentions behind recruiting. I am recruiting because I genuinely want to change people's lives. And now when a recruit comes my way, I don't sabotage the result for selfish desire and or selfish need. Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name is Matthew Welsh, and welcome to the Leaders Only podcast, where we talk about business, leadership, mindset, and it's pretty much anything revolved around building an incredible life. You know, the reason that I started this podcast because I felt like on the way to where we're at now, there wasn't really a place to go learn tangible skill sets, leadership qualities, and mindset strategies that you can learn today, apply today, and get immediate results. And so the goal of this podcast is to teach you the things that you need to actually win, to actually change your life, and to actually grow your business and grow your team if you're someone that's in a leadership role. And so if you can do me a favor, if you ever get something out of our message, if you ever get something out of the content, if you can like, share, subscribe, just tell people about it. We put out all this information for free. And so all we ask is that you share it with a friend if you get something out of it. So with that being said, thank you guys so much, and let's tune in.
I'm a big mood. You can't name a lot of things.
And today, you're gonna be listening to a Zoom that I've done training my organization on how to become a recruiting magnet and how to attract top tier talent into your organization. I got tons of incredible feedback from it, and I think that you're gonna get a ton from it as well. The person who's on the most appointments will develop the highest levels of skill. There's only so many presentations that you can give in front of a bathroom mirror. There's only so many mock presentations that you can do with a friend where I hop on with Akram and we just practice. There's just only so much I can possibly do in that scenario for me to get good. If I want to become good, I got to be live. I got to be in it. I got to be with the client. All of a sudden the client asks a question and I'm like, damn, I don't know that answer. That's how you get good. You get good from not knowing. You get good from trying and maybe not getting the best result. That's how you get good. The problem is you're not giving yourself an opportunity to even get good if we're not bringing in the volume necessary to be on a lot of appointments where you can mess it up. I'm just being blunt. It takes volume, specifically recruiting volume. And no, we're not a juicy juice, magic pill, multi-level marketing company. We are not that. We're a financial brokerage. We're a financial agency. If I owned a real estate brokerage, wouldn't I look for agents to go sell homes? Absolutely. Well, guess what? You either own a financial brokerage or we're teaching you how to own a financial brokerage, which means that you need to constantly be scanning and looking for talent of people that you can bring into your business, help them get a license, teach them how to distribute and sell. Because if you don't do that, then there's only going to be so much profitability that your financial business has. Does this make sense? The reason you are here is to learn how to run your own financial business. That's why you're here. Some of you might not know that, but those that do know that, we should have even a higher level of intentionality. If you're on this call and you just want to earn a couple $1,000s here and there, that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with that. We'll teach you that too. But the goal of Wednesday nights is to teach you how to build a business. That's the goal. So my goal is to teach you how to build a financial business. Well, in order to build a financial business and not just have a corporation with no value, we need to have agents within that business that are equipped to distribute product. The problem is we cannot have agents that are equipped to distribute products if we don't have agents. And we can't have agents if we don't master the skill of recruiting. And not just master the skill of recruiting, set a standard for what we allow and what is unacceptable. And the standard that we need to build in place in our own mind as unacceptable is anything less than 10. We need to make unacceptable in our minds. We need to make it unacceptable. That's it. If your child talks back to you, is that acceptable? Should be unacceptable because of respect. Well, some of us, our numbers are talking back at us And we have no respect for ourselves, which is why our numbers aren't speaking the way that we want them to speak. Unacceptable. Make sense? And by the way, I'm not mad at you in any way. Whether you do this or not, we're fine. Okay? So literally no part of me is angry. I'm fired up. I'm telling you this, I just care about you and your family. And somebody's got to. Make sense? Which is why I got to tell you the truth and I got to be honest with you. If we don't get our recruiting up, not as a base shop, we're cranking and we're fine. If you individually do not get your recruiting up, I do not know if you are going to be here in 12 months, which means the likelihood of you accomplishing any dream that you have for your life, you could probably just flush it down the toilet. And once again, I'm not saying that to be mean. Somebody's got to be honest with you. And I can't be the person that gives you a participation trophy because you showed up to a Zoom call. I got to be the person that says, listen, this isn't going to cut it. Make sense? If I owned a clothing manufacturing company and somebody's like, hey, I need 1,000 shirts. And I'm like, well, I only got 90. It doesn't cut it. It just doesn't cut it. It's not enough. Okay? Well, that's how some of us are with our, oh, I got 3. That doesn't cut it. Oh, I got 7. That doesn't cut it. I got 10. That doesn't cut it either. That's just where it starts. Make sense? We have to upgrade our personal standards of excellence if we want to achieve the life that we want to have. And the good news is at any point in time, you can make the decision to become great at this. It's just a choice. It's just a choice. You can take 7 years. You can take 7 days of just obsessive, intentional focus. It's up to you. What are you watching on YouTube every day? When you're in the car, are you just listening to music? Or are you listening to audios that are actually going to develop your thinking and help you with your skill sets? Do you know how many YouTube videos are out there on recruiting? Heck, I put podcasts out every single week on things that will help you grow your business. And that's not a plug. I'm just saying there's so much stuff out there on what to do and how to, you just got to look for it. Make sense? Okay? But individually, guys, if every single person on here said, you know what, I'm going to commit to 10 in the month of August, all out August, I'm doing 10. We would do 960 recruits collectively, which is less than what we do as a hierarchy already. But I tell you that because there's enough meat on the bone for every single one of you to eat and every single one of you to win. But I want to be very clear. Melissa, do you have kids? How many kids do you have? 1. Boy, girl? Boy? Your son will get to inherit whatever you build. So let's build the Goliath of a business. So that way, when you pass it down, it's something of substance that starts at 10. Make sense? That starts at 10. So, can we all make that commitment? Yes? Fantastic. So how do we do that? You guys want to know that part? Is that a good idea to discuss this evening? Now that some feathers are ruffled? Hey, it's how you learn how to fly. You know what I mean? That was cheesy, but we'll roll with it. Everybody look at your neighbor and say, hey, our coach loves us. Our coach loves us. That's why he's willing to tell us the truth. Okay? I think honesty is a sign of love. Awesome. So, let's talk about it. How many of us want to become a recruiting magnet? Like I'm talking about just magnetic. I'm talking about, I don't know things that are magnetic, but like if I knew something that was magnetic outside of a magnet, that was just super strong, like you would be that. You know what I mean? Like that. I didn't think this analogy through. But my point is this, okay? How many of us want to just become recruiting magnets where we just feel like recruits are falling out of the sky? Like they just come to me easily, frequently, and abundantly. Like I couldn't fight it even if I wanted to. Like the train just keeps coming to the station without even me trying to get it to come to the station. It just keeps coming, dropping directs off for me each and every single day, every single week. How many of us want to become magnetic? Make sense? Anybody? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, on how to do that. On how to do that. And by the way, I just want to be very clear. I'm going to teach you how to do it in recruiting, but you can take a lot of the same principles and you can apply it to other areas of your life and become magnetic in more areas of your life than just recruiting. Make sense? Because it all starts with your mind. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. I want you to write that down. If I can see it in my mind, I can hold it in my hand. If I can see it in my mind, I can hold it in my hand. There's an audio I want you all to go buy tonight. This is your homework. I think the audio is like $10, or I think it's on YouTube actually for free. It's called You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. You were born rich. And I want you to listen to it, study it. I listen to that bad boy once a year. Do you want to know why? Because if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Sound good? So let's talk about how to do that. So, number one, if you want to become a recruiting magnet, we have to become obsessed. We have to become obsessed. Some of us aren't obsessed and then we wonder why we can't get recruits. You're not obsessed about recruiting. I became obsessed about recruiting day one. Well, Matt, how come you became obsessed about recruiting day one? Because a random person gave a 19-year-old boy with no college education, barely graduated high school, ADHD, ADD, dyslexic, anxiety attacks. Biggest fear in the world was public speaking. The industry, this model gave a 19-year-old boy the opportunity to go make millions of dollars a year. And even before I actually earned income like that, I believed it. And so the fact that I was given that opportunity to change my life, I wanted to give as many people that opportunity as I possibly could. So I became obsessed with it. I became obsessed with it. I want you to write this down. Your obsessions will become your possessions. Your obsessions will become your possessions. Why is it so important for you to become obsessed with recruiting? By the way, I'm not just talking about obsessed with this business, because there's a difference between being obsessed with this business and being obsessed with recruiting. I'm talking about becoming obsessed with recruiting. When you become obsessed with recruiting top-tier talent, when you become obsessed with recruiting leaders into your business, when you feel like you attract leaders into your business religiously, abundantly, frequently, all the time, they just keep flowing in. Do you want to know why that happens? Is because the love for recruiting goes from your conscious mind, meaning you want to do it, to your subconscious mind, meaning you attract it. Let me say that again. We got to go from having something in our conscious mind, meaning we like the idea of it, to our subconscious mind, meaning it becomes a part of who we are. We're obsessed about it, so we attract it. Well, why is this so important? Because in our mind, we have something called an RAS. It stands for Reticular Activating System. And what it does is it filters in the things that are important to you. Not to me, to you. It will filter in whatever is important to you, and it will filter out everything that keeps you from getting what is important to you. Make sense? So if you are obsessed about directs and it becomes important to you and it takes up all this space in your mind, you wake up thinking about it, you go to bed thinking about it, throughout the day you're thinking about it, it's just always on your mind. I got to get more, I got to get more, I got to get more. It goes from your conscious to your subconscious. And the moment something enters your subconscious, because you believe so much in it, because it matters to you, because you love it, and because you have an emotional attachment to it, what will start to happen is your RAS, your reticular activating system, will start to filter people in to your life, filter knowledge in to your mind that will help you move towards the goal of recruiting. It will also filter out the people that will keep you from doing it. It will filter out the relationships that put you into a negative state that makes it hard for you to attract people into your business. It will filter out the knowledge that's not necessary and or not needed. It will filter all that out, and it will filter in what's needed in order to hit the goal. But you got to become obsessed about it, and you have to develop an emotional attachment to it. This is why wanting to recruit is not enough. You have to truly know genuinely in your heart that recruiting changes lives. I'll give you an example. I remember I was 20 years old, and all of a sudden I was driving to the office. I had a battery pack hooked up under my hood to keep my battery charged because my alternator wasn't working. And so I took a battery, like a battery pack that you keep in the back of the car, that you hook it up to the battery. My alternator wasn't working. So I literally took it, I put it under the hood, and I had to drive with my hood slightly open in order to do this. So I'm on the freeway. I'm driving 40 minutes. 30 minutes of that was on the freeway with my blinkers on in the far right lane because I needed to get to the office for an appointment. I finally get off on this back road, and I'm driving down this back road, going super slow, blinkers on, just like this, and all of a sudden a semi-truck passes me. Shoo. When something that large passes you, it puts off a level of wind. That wind took my hood, slammed it into my windshield, and then flew off. So my windshield shattered, hood flew off on the road, and my car stopped working. And I don't know why, but it caused my bumper to fall off as well. I don't know how that happened, but it just all happened at once. And so all of a sudden, I was like, I need a new car. I need a new car ASAP. I was making around $100,000 at the time, and I went to Ford because my upline at the time, he said, hey, listen, Matt, my brother works at Ford. He'll give you a good deal. So I go over to Ford. I go to Ford dealership, and there's a Ford Fusion. And I said, wow, this Ford Fusion's kind of nice. It kind of low-key looks like I convinced in my mind that it was a banger, right? And it was a brand new Ford Fusion. I'd never even been in a brand new car before. And he said, do you want to drive it? I said, am I allowed to do that? I didn't know. I'd never been on a car lot. I'd never been on anything. I bought that other car for $2,000. The car I bought before that, I bought for $300 with a blown head gasket, and I rebuilt it. I rebuilt the top end with my dad for $600. Got my first 1993 Ford Exploder where the windows fell down as I was driving. No heater, no air conditioning. And by the time I got to my destination, I had to go roll up all the windows so nobody could get in my car. So I didn't know what it was like to have a new car or even walk onto a car lot. I was like, why would I walk onto a lot if I can never buy anything on it? So I just never did. And all of a sudden I went to Ford. There's this Ford Fusion. I was like, wow, that looks amazing. And sometimes when you've had bad long enough, when you experience good, you think it's great. I thought it was the greatest car I've ever seen in my life. And all of a sudden I buy that car. And I was like, man, nobody has this car. This is an exclusive car. This is top of the line. This is for six-figure earners and above only. Nobody has something like this. And all of a sudden, I get in that car and I'm driving home, and that car is everywhere. Like I'm talking about, it's 3 lanes over. It's on the other side of the freeway. I'm at the stoplight. They're pulling up next to me. I get home. My neighbor has one. Like it is absolutely everywhere. But I never noticed it before. How come I never noticed it? Because it wasn't important to me. And so my RAS filtered it out because it didn't have any relevance in my life. But all of a sudden, when the car became important to me and it became relevant, my mind started seeing it everywhere, which it didn't do before. Well, guess what? That's how recruiting works. All of a sudden, you become obsessed about recruiting. It enters your subconscious mind. You're at dinner with a friend, and all of a sudden, 3 tables over, you hear somebody talking about how they don't like their job. Recruiting opportunity. See where I'm going with this? You start hearing things you didn't hear before. You start noticing things you didn't notice before. Why? Because it became important to you. It went from your conscious to your subconscious. And now, even when you're not consciously thinking about it, you're unconsciously attracting it. Ooh, oh my gosh, I hope you felt that one. It needs to become so important to you that even when you're not consciously thinking about it, you are unconsciously attracting it because it's no longer just something you think about, it's a part of who you are. And I'm not just talking about recruiting. That could apply to your marriage. That could apply to the relationship you have with your children. That could apply to your fitness. That could apply to your wealth. That could apply to every area of your life. And if you walk away tonight with nothing but that, and you can take it and apply it, your entire life will be changed. You have to become obsessed. Obsessed is a word that the average use to describe those who do something great with their life. The question is are people using that word when they think of you? Let me say that again. Obsessed is a word that the average and ordinary use to describe those who do something great with their life. And so if people are not talking about you in a way where they say, oh, they're obsessed, or hey, like you're obsessed about that, then that's an issue. You should be obsessed. And if people aren't talking about how obsessed you are and saying, hey, can you stop talking about that? Like you're talking about it all the time. If you're not getting that at the family dinner table, if you're not getting that at the family barbecue, hey, can you not talk about your business when we're all together? Hey, can you not? If you're not getting that, then you're not obsessed enough. If somebody said, hey, Juvang, you're obsessed, that would be the greatest compliment that you could ever get. Because most people go through life not obsessed about anything. Don't be that person. If you have the opportunity to be obsessed about something, that is one of the greatest honors and privileges that you can ever have in your life. Because most people will never go through life obsessed about anything. They're just wandering generalities, not meaningful specifics, because they have nothing that possesses their mind in a positive way. If recruiting becomes that, you will become a master recruiter. Number 2, get specific on the type of people you are looking for. Matt, well, why is that so important? Remember a second ago when I said your mind will start to filter it in? Well, if we get specific and we keep out the generic, now all of a sudden it becomes easier to find that recruit. So for instance, if I said, okay, this is what I want you guys to all do. I'm going to stop sharing right now, okay? I want everyone to look around their room and I want you to think of everything that's blue. So I want you to look around your room for everything that's blue. Look 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 around your room, Michael. Look for everything that's blue. Linford, look for everything that's blue. Look around. You got it? Everything that's blue. Now everyone close your eyes. Everyone close your eyes. Tell me everything that's red. Tell me everything that's yellow. Tell me everything that's green. Do you want to know why you're not seeing it? It's because your mind wasn't focused on it. Well, if you want to become a master recruiter, you got to give your mind something specific to look for, or else it will have a hard time finding it. So a lot of us say, hey, I'm looking for a recruit. That doesn't help you. But if you say, hey, listen, I'm looking for a bilingual woman in her mid-30s with children. I'm looking for an African-American male over 6 feet tall with a background in the military. I'm looking for salespeople, people that have been in sales for 5 years. I'm looking for salespeople and salespeople only. And you start to get very specific on what you are looking for and what you are hunting for. Your mind will start to filter those people in. All of a sudden, you're looking for a bilingual woman. You're at the grocery store, you're in an aisle, and you hear someone speaking in Spanish one aisle over. And you didn't hear that Spanish speaker before, but now you hear them. And you walk to the other aisle. You said, excuse me, miss, are you speaking Spanish? She goes, yeah, I am. I'm going to say, hey, listen, this is going to sound so strange, and I don't mean to sound strange, but our firm is expanding a ton right now looking for bilingual people because there's a huge demographic of people that need financial help, and we don't have enough agents that speak the language in order to help them. I'm not sure if you would be a good fit. I'm not even sure if you would be interested. But I would love to get you in contact with our expansion department because we need more bilingual speakers if we want to help the communities with financial literacy. Do you happen to have a business card on you? No, you don't? Hey, no big deal. How about I take down your contact information? I'll speak to our expansion department, and if they're willing to give you a call, I'll reach out to you first and let you know. How does that sound? I could just walk up to her and say that. Hey, are you speaking? I was about to come up with my own language right now. Are you speaking Indonesian? Right? Like, okay? Hey, I'm not good with geography. Leave me alone, okay? And I know it's not, I don't even know if that's geography. It's probably not. I'm not good with any of that stuff. Leave me alone. But my point is you get specific, your mind starts to find it, okay? So what are you looking for? Are you looking for 3 recruits? Are you looking for 3 people with a specific background? Get specific. I'm looking to recruit nurses this month. Now all of a sudden, everywhere you go, you see people in their nurse outfits. I forgot what they're called. And you notice them now, and you don't notice them. You didn't notice them before. Well, why is that? Because it became important to you. I'm blanking on what it's called. What are those things called? What is it called? Somebody drop it. I'm blanking. Let me see. Scrubs. There we go. I don't need no scrub. Come on now. Telling you. Okay? All right. Let me pull back up my training. Okay? Is this good or what? I hope so. So that's number 2. Get specific on what you want. Your mind cannot focus on something that's generic. It needs specifics. Okay? Number 3, make it an affirmation. Make it an affirmation. This might sound crazy, but literally what I would do is I would go to your local FedEx, your local Staples, your local whatever, and get something laminated with all your affirmations and put it in your shower. Where is a place that any person with good hygiene is every morning and every night? They're in that shower, which means if your affirmations are there and you read them, I'm so happy and grateful that I recruit 4 directs every single month. I'm so happy and grateful that I recruit 25 people per month into my agency. I'm so happy and grateful that I love recruiting and recruiting loves me. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm a master recruiter. I'm so happy and grateful that I attract 3 military. You guys get my point? And you start being very specific and you start building these things into your affirmations. If you can control the morning and you can control the night, the middle will work itself out. And most people think it's cheesy, but cheesy people get the cheddar. I have always done my affirmations. And it might be hokey pokey. That's fine. But I'm going to turn myself around and I'm going to go straight to my dreams while everyone else stays stagnant. See the difference? Okay? Make it an affirmation. I'm so happy and grateful that I recruit 4 directs every single month. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm a master recruiter. I'm so happy and grateful that everyone says yes to me. I'm so happy and grateful that I recruit 25 people per month into my agency. I'm so happy and grateful that I love recruiting and recruiting loves me. I'm so happy and grateful that I attract top tier talent into my organization. I'm so happy and grateful that I attract leaders into my business. I'm so happy and grateful. You got to say it as if you own it. I'm so happy and grateful that I got 4 directs in the month of August. August isn't even here. Exactly. Start speaking it as if you've attained it already. If you could see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. See the difference? And what starts to happen is, remember earlier when I said, how do we get it from the conscious to the subconscious so our RES starts finding it for us? This is one of the ways you do it. You program your mind. By the way, this is what I do with everything. I do this with everything, not just my recruiting. I'm so happy and grateful that I fall more in love with my wife every single day. I'm so happy and grateful that I've become a better dad every single day. I'm so happy and grateful that I only notice the good in my wife every single day. I'm so happy and grateful that you guys with me, I do this in every area. I don't just do this I'm so happy and grateful that I have a $100 million net worth by the age of 30. I do this with all areas, not just my recruiting. Does this make sense? Well, why is that? Because now all of a sudden when I'm saying I'm so happy and grateful that I fall more in love with my wife every day, now every time my wife does something, my mind looks for opportunities to love her more. And people always say, Matt, you're obsessed with your wife. That's for damn sure. I think she's incredible, but it's also because I'm training my mind on a daily basis to fall more in love with her. Because it means something to me to show my daughters an example of what it looks like to be loved by a man. This fires me up. I don't know if it fires you up, but we got to affirm all of this. Does this make sense? All areas of our life. Number 4, operate from a frequency of serving people. Operate from a frequency of serving people. People pick up on your vibe. People pick up on your vibe. People pick up on your vibe. Do you know what your vibe is? It's a vibration. Do you know what generates your vibration? Your thoughts. Which means that people are picking up on your thoughts. Which means when you go into a recruiting appointment and you are trying to recruit them for a promotion, you're trying to recruit them for a milestone, you're trying to recruit them for self-serving opportunities, now all of a sudden, the thought that you are sending, the thought that's generating a vibration through your body is you putting off a vibe that's self-centered and selfish versus a selfless vibe of I just want to see this person change their life. So are you recruiting for a promotion, recruiting for a milestone, recruiting for income? Or are you recruiting because you truly want what's best for people and you want to give them the opportunity to change their life? Do you know why you're not a good recruiter? Because you associate recruiting with selfish desires. You associate recruiting with stealing from somebody. You associate recruiting with taking from somebody. You recruit for a promotion. You recruit for cash flow. You recruit for a title. You are recruiting for selfish reasons. And if you are a person of integrity and you are an honorable person and you are recruiting for selfish reasons, you will self-sabotage any potential recruits that you attract into your business. Because the good part of you says, I'm doing this for the wrong reason. Make sense? So if you want to become a better recruiter, we need to shift our intentions behind recruiting. I am recruiting because I genuinely want to change people's lives. And now when a recruit comes my way, I don't sabotage the result for selfish desire and or selfish need. Because most people will self-sabotage their own success because they're doing it for them versus doing it for the person they're sitting down with. Matt, well, how can I work on this? I only have one thing to tell you. One strategy for you. I pray. I pray. I pray before every appointment. I pray before every call. I pray to have my thoughts guided, my words guided. I pray to be a vessel that was worked through. I pray to be a soldier in his army. I pray for all intentions to be guided in everything that I do. And that helps guide my thoughts, guide my energy, guide my vibration. And I think people pick up on that. Number 5, don't give it away, take it away. People want what they can't have. So if all of a sudden Alex says, hey, I'm interested in that opportunity. Brother, I'll do my best, but I don't know if I can even get you an interview, dude. He's like, what do you mean? I said, well, the firm's expanding, but they're not just looking for everyone. I think you're legit. I think you could do well. But their calendar is jam-packed right now with candidates, and I don't know if there's any more room. So, Alex, if I can get you in front of someone, I'd be willing to do so. But I need to know that you're going to show up with a high level of seriousness. You don't necessarily have to move forward, but with a high level of seriousness. So that way I don't look bad based off my referral. I've worked hard to build a great reputation with the firm. I don't want to ruin it, regardless of how much I care about you. So I'm willing to get you that interview. But do I have your commitment that you're going to show up with a high level of seriousness? Fantastic. Boom. Luis, if we allowed you to work with us, would it be a problem for you to accomplish X, Y, and Z? If I decided to move forward with you, is there any reason why we can't go get a license within your first 7 days? We have 14 candidates interviewing with us in the next 24 hours. Why do you think we should move forward with you over one of these other candidates? Hey, I can't guarantee anything. Obviously, you'll need to know more. See my point here? Okay? Don't give it away. Take it away. 6, it's not about where you were at. It's about where you are going with what I got working. Hey, here's the deal, okay? I don't believe in fake it till you make it. I don't think there's any integrity in fake it till you make it. But what I do believe in is acting as if. You got to act as if. And what most people think is an exaggeration, what they don't understand is just your affirmation, which is why we need to be willing to speak big, but then be willing to put in big work necessary in order to back it up. I want you to know this. It's only a lie if you're not willing to put in the work necessary to back it up. So when you throw out big goals, big dreams, big vision, this is what I'm going to do in the next 12 months. This is what I'm going to make in the next 12 months. This is how much I'm going to make in August. When you are willing to throw those big goals, big dreams, and those affirmations out there, it's only a lie if you're not willing to put in the work necessary to back it up. So put in the work necessary, and there you go. Don't ever be afraid to throw out big goals, big dreams, big desires. Because if you want to attract leaders into your business, you need to speak big. I want you to remember this. Small fits inside big, but big doesn't fit inside small. So some of us are wondering, why are we not attracting leaders with big visions? Because you're speaking too small in order to keep them. Their vision is larger than the bubble of the vision you have. It doesn't fit inside. So we got to throw big goals out there. I remember coming in, I was 19 years old. And I'm broke as a joke. And I'm not making any money. And I'm not even licensed yet. And all of a sudden, I'm in a recruiting interview. And somebody says, hey, just curious, how well are you doing financially? I see all these numbers. Are you earning this? And I'm a person of integrity and I don't believe in lying. So I looked at him, I said, no, but I plan to. And I lost all credibility with that recruit and they did not move forward. So I went back to my trainer. I said, trainer, what do I do in this situation? How do I handle it? When people ask me if I'm earning it, what do I say? He said, you say this. With what I got working, they're going to pay me 6 figures next year. With what I got working, they're going to pay me 6 figures in the next 12 months. With what I got working, they're going to pay me 6 figures in the next 12 months. With what I got working, I'll make a minimum of $250,000 this year. With what I got working, I'll make a minimum of $250,000 this year. With what I got working, I'll make a minimum of $250,000 this year. He said, it's not an exaggeration if you're willing to put in the work necessary and turn it into an affirmation. And he looked at me, he goes, Matt, are you willing to put in the work necessary to back up that statement? I said 100%. He said, then you can say that every day of the week, as long as you're willing to put in the work necessary to back it up. I said, all right. And so I go into my next appointment, and I'm sitting there, and the guy looks at me and goes, Matt, are you making this amount of money? I said, hey, with what I got working, I'll make a minimum of $250,000 this year. I said $100,000, but I want you saying $250,000. I said, with what I got working, I'll make a minimum of $100,000 this year. He said, how old are you? I said, 19. He said, you're going to make 6 figures this year? I said, that's right. With what I got working, I'm going to make $100,000 this year. And I didn't even believe it when I said it. But all of a sudden, I kept saying it and kept saying it and kept saying it. And eventually, what was my affirmation became my reality. But it didn't look like it in the beginning stages. I wasn't even licensed yet. The kid said, hey, are you making this amount of money yet? I said, hey, with what I got working, I'm going to make $100,000 this year. Do you know how much money I made that month? 0. Next month, with what I got working, I'm going to make $100,000 this year. Do you know how much money I made that next month? $238. With what I got working, I'm going to make $100,000 this year. And do you know how much money I made that next month? Negative $238, because the $238 charged back. Okay? And then the next month, with what I got working, I'm going to make $100,000 this year. $680. Then I made $1,800. Then I made $3,600. Then I made $4,700. And then I made $21,000. And then I made then I made $11,000. Then I made $9,000. Then I made $21,000. Then I made $19,000. And then I made $23,000. And I never fell below. And I crossed 120 grand my first 12 months in this business at 19, 20 years old. Did I believe it when I said it? No. Did it look like it when I made $0, when I made $238, when I made $0 or negative 238, when I made 680, when I made the 1800, when I made the 36, when I made the 11, when I made the 9, when I made the 21, when I made the 19? Did it look like it in those beginning stages? No, it did not look like it. But I said it so many times that my RAS started filtering in the people, the clients, the skill sets, the discipline, the enthusiasm, the excitement. I said it so many times that even though consciously I didn't believe it, I tricked my subconscious into believing it for me. And my subconscious became my absolute best friend and filtered in everything that was needed for me to hit the goal, even though I consciously didn't even believe it yet. So, Max, are you making this income yet? Well, with what I got working, I'm going to make $250,000 minimum this year. With what I got working, if it's a bad year, I'll probably make about $500,000. With what I got working, if it's a bad year, I'll make $1 million a month. See where I'm going with this? Small fits in big, but big doesn't fit in small. We got to stop thinking, walking, and talking and acting so small. By the way, like I said, you don't have to be a believer, but I'm just going to tell you what I feel. How can you think small, walk small, act small, talk small with a big God? Like, just think about that. How do you think small, walk small, talk small, act small with a big God? That's like the biggest slap in the face to your creator that you can ever commit. Thinking small is a slap in the face to your creator. Acting small is a slap in the face to your creator. He didn't create you with all this potential only for you to limit it and put a cap on it. He created you to do huge things in your life so you can inspire other people to do huge things in their life. And then when all of a sudden you achieve the victory, when you have the success, you point to where you got the potential in the first place. I lost 2 people, but I don't care. Number 7, talk about the vision in higher level. Talk about the vision at a higher level. Okay, what do I mean by this? Building an incredible life. Contribution and living a life that matters, peace and happiness, becoming somebody, doing something great with your life, being a part of something that's bigger than you. Some of us sit down with people and they're just like, Salome, you can make a lot of money. But let's be real. Is it truly that the money that Salome is chasing? Or is it the incredible life that she thinks money will provide? Is it the ability to be in such a great financial spot that you can contribute and live a life that matters? Does she want to have peace of mind where she doesn't have to worry about things that money causes stress upon? Because she's so well off financially that she's able to be in the moment and live in the moment and operate with pure bliss and happiness and peace because she's not thinking about how am I going to pay for this or how am I going to afford that? Is it her becoming somebody and becoming someone that's significant in this world where she made a difference? And is it becoming a part of something that's bigger than herself? Everyone wants to live a life that matters. Everyone. I don't care who you are. You want to live a life that matters. And some of us are selling cash flow, thinking that that's what determines if your life matters. Nope. That's one of the byproducts of living a life that matters in a lucrative industry. But it shouldn't be the goal. It should be the byproduct of the goal. The money you make should be a byproduct of who you become and the people you help in the process. Stop just selling people on money and start selling people on the things that actually matter in life. This is the difference between somebody who's immature in our business and somebody who's mature in our business. I want to challenge you to become mature in our business and understand what truly moves people. And it's never the money. It's just what they can do with it. In closing, this is my challenge to you. Number 1, get clear on what you want your life to look like. Because when we become clear on what we want our life to look like, decision making becomes very easy. This is the goal. This is the dream. This is what I have. This is what I want for my life. This is the goal. This is the dream. This is what I want with my life. This is what I want for my life. This is what I want to have in my life. And if all of a sudden you get clear on what you want out of your life, now each and every single day when you wake up, the decision's already made. Is it going to get me closer to that life? Yes or no? If the answer is no, leave it behind. If the answer is yes, execute. Decision making becomes very easy when you are clear on what you want. Not foggy, but clear. So I want to challenge you, get clear on what you want. Number 2, 5 directs 3 months in a row. I want you to build into your identity becoming a recruiting magnet. And if you do 5 directs 3 months in a row, you're going to start to feel like a recruiting magnet where they just come to you easily, frequently, and abundantly. They're falling out of the sky. The train's dropping them off at the station, ready to just be recruited into your business. But we need to make the decision to recruit bigger, walk bigger, talk bigger, act bigger. Because if we don't, everything that we want will not be accomplished. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you got something out of today's message on how to become a recruiting magnet and how to scale and attract great people into your organization. If you did get something out of it, if you can do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about it. All we ask is that if you ever learn something from an episode, that you tell a friend. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys next time in the Leaders Only podcast.